Hello, Ryan here, and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all of the news from the week just past. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get on with it. This week, we see new UI updates coming to mining in Alpha 3.12. Plus, this week's sprint report talks about non-lethal weapons, new cargo variants, refinery decks, and the current progress on ship-to-station docking. So, Inside Star Citizen returned after their 3-week hiatus, and to begin with, they took us through the new mining UI, which is coming in Alpha 3.12. Now, they converted this UI to the new building block system, and now they can change it up, they can add more info, they can iterate on it super quickly as and when they need to. The UI is a lot cleaner and easier to read, they can have it readable in brighter conditions, and even designers working on the systems can learn how to use it and adjust it when needed. For mining specifically, they wanted to convey more information to us, and as they continued to improve and update the mining mechanic, they weren't really able to introduce these UI elements to reflect the changes. These new UI additions include a light sort of flight HUD UI, which will be present showing you your throttle speed and current velocity, which I think is definitely great, no more nasty surprises there. They've added the list of equipped consumables so you can see at a glance what you have. It'll show you at any moment which one is active and how long you have until it expires and its cooldown. And this is actually of big benefit to me personally. Now, I don't really use them because I can't remember what I have equipped or what they do, so using one has never really popped into my mind. Now I'll see what I have all the time, which will hopefully improve my mining abilities. One amazing addition is the cargo hold UI, which has now gone from a progress bar being sort of 0 to 100 capacity to an itemized list which updates in real time. Any volatile cargo you have is highlighted in red, giving you a clear understanding of exactly what you have. And there is now a volatile cargo display that shows you the actual percentage of health from 100 to 0 and an ETA of when it'll collapse with the countdown in real time as well. And that countdown will adjust with any knocks or bumps that you take en route. Finally, it will now be properly conveyed that your cargo has been jettisoned when you press the button, so you're no longer spamming it in fear. All of these UI changes are pretty excellent, and it will really help to understand and improve the mining mechanic greatly. I personally love the new UI look, and what's amazing is that they can just adjust it, tweak it, add or remove elements as and when needed without having to schedule it with an actual UI designer. It can be done by the team working on the mechanic straight away. Jared actually mentions there's quite a lot of new UI work coming in the next quarter, starting with mining and cargo interfaces. We are yet to see the cargo UI updates, the refinery deck interfaces, and the overhaul to the manufacture-based ship HUDs, which will be shown next week, he said. Now, this is all going to be a big blessing, hopefully all coming in 3.12. It sounds like it is, as the roadmap for 3.12 is looking a bit light at the moment, so these will be some welcome additions. Anyway, next up was the sprint report. The lighting team are optimizing and improving performance by going back through some of the older ships and reducing the resource costs of the cockpit lighting. But they're still maintaining or even improving the overall visuals. From here, they will integrate the lights from individual button presses in the upcoming physical dashboards and updating the transition effects from different lighting states like auxiliary to full power. They're also going through the 600 eyes lighting as the performance was way too heavy. They managed to reduce this ship's lighting resource footprint by a factor of 10, which allowed them to add new runtime probes throughout the ship, meaning it will be more naturally lit by the Versus lights as you travel around. Now, it is great to bring this lighting up to par with current standards and at the same time, as usual, improve the visual look and performance, so it is a big win-win. The weapons concept team worked on a sprint to develop non-lethal items for the PU and Squadron, including a taser stun gun in which the side panels extend out before discharging, and a Cure Life medigun, which, as Jared puts it, an up-close and personal beam weapon that utilizes a cartridge of healing serum to treat NPCs and players alike. Now, this taser will clearly be a huge benefit for the bounty hunting mechanic, so let's hope we get that and the functionality to need to use it soon. But in regards to this medigun, this will likely be the first steps into healing other players, something I'm very much looking forward to. But when he says a beam weapon, I don't think it means like a super long concentrated beam that can be shot tens of meters, more like a localized beam to fix up certain areas of a player or an NPC. We'll have to hear more though to get a better understanding. Anyway, the props team have been working on 3 new styles of valuable yet dangerous cargo items for future gameplay. This includes a damage-sensitive item that should be carefully transported, time-sensitive items that should be delivered as quickly as possible, and quantum-sensitive items that means, as Jared puts it, you'll want to keep a low profile and take the long way round. Now, we have seen these in the past in monthly reports, and you can see that the boxes all fit into this one standard cargo unit cage, which I'm hoping in 3.12 we will be able to physically move around our cargo hold using this tractor beam. This quantum cargo might mean some long duration non-quantum drive travel around planets perhaps, which will hopefully pay out enough to warrant the time. I can't imagine it'll be requiring us to fly slow burn to moons, just domestic deliveries, which I am actually very much looking forward to seeing this, just nice casual flying around a planet to deliver goods. Meanwhile, the visual effects team have been working on updating chaff effects to go along with the recent code changes, which are all part of this in-progress revamp to missiles that we will hear about more in this quarter. He said they need to make sure that it doesn't look too similar to cap ship or space station flat cannon weapons. Flat cannons are going to be epic, kind of like a World War II style, sort of flying through flak. Cannot wait to see that. Fire propagation has made some great progress as well. They're now working on visual target tests, seeing what's possible visually with the current shader and graphics tech that they have already. It looks good so far, but it also allows the team to identify areas for improvement, like the glow from heated surfaces or soot density in the air, or a mix of flame types based on the surface the fire is emitting from. Now, this fire is pretty impressive looking already. Cannot wait to see this improve even more. Putting fires out will be a lot of fun, and it's only going to look and behave better from what we see here, so it's going to be good. Refinery decks are looking pretty good as well. They're currently introducing more soft body elements like pipe covers and insulating materials. He said that we will follow along with these decks as they progress. And the best thing I think about these decks, these refinery decks, is that when they come, unlike the cargo decks, they will have actual tangible gameplay associated with them. Artists are going back through some existing derelicts and updating the look to be more in line with what you would expect to see from a long-time abandonment. He said this kind of work is done in the downtime in between sprints or while waiting for more tech to allow these teams to advance. And finally, the ship-to-station docking concept got approved, so now designers are in the process of whiteboxing locations where these arms, collars and docking hubs will go on the space stations. They said they decided not to place the docking points right at the end of the station arms so as not to feel so disconnected from the stations themselves, but it will also reduce the foot travel time for players. Now, I completely agree with this. Seeing the station from the inside of the ship or seeing the ship's approach from the inside of the station will be so exciting, and this is some really important tech that is now finally on its way. Anyway, that was Inside Star Citizen, a really good episode this week. Let us move on. Also this week, Drifters Part 2 was released. This is a great story in the Star Citizen universe, written by Dave Haddock. Plus, Star Citizen Live this week was a game dev stream in which they explore the process CIG devs go through for their line of work. This week was with no other than the LA concept artist Jeremiah Lee, concepting what a space cowboy could look like. So that brings us to the end of the show. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Also, I am able to do this thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members. If you appreciate what I do and would like to help make it even better from as little as $1 a month, all of the links are provided below.